Hello. Wait. Why is my audio not coming through my headphones? Hold on a second. Hello? Sorry, I'm having mild audio troubles just because it's like Discord calls are coming through my speakers. So I'm trying to figure out what the hell that's all about. What the hell? I could just pop these things off. Wear my headphones too long, it hurts my ears anyway, so. uh, yeah, it's weird because I have the speakers and the headphones, so I don't know. It's strange. I'm just gonna wait. We're just gonna wait on Maddie, and then we're gonna push the button and be well on our way. Uh, did I tell you guys that this is gonna be a slightly shorter one than usual because of stuff? Okay, wonderful. Just making sure that I got that clear. I already told the lovely peeps in the intro, but ow, better safe than sorry. What do I keep doing to my wrists?
I don't know, but my eye has been killing me the past few days.
Are you gonna see an ophthalmologist on that sort of thing?
There's nothing like that out here. No, it feels like somebody like punched me in the eye or something. It feels really bruised and sore.
Oh, not fun.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Well, and how are you doing today, Fishbowl?
I'm gonna be going back to college next week if it doesn't, unless it snows, which it probably will.
Fun. Getting snowed in. Well, less fun, but you know. Less fun these days than it was when we were kids, you know. Because it's like, hey, you don't have to go to school. Yay, we get cartoons. Now you get snowed in, and it's just like...
You never had that.
Just shovel that shit.
Oh, yeah.
School days were a myth where I live.
Oh, school. I thought so too, but then one day it hit minus 50 when I was Celsius, mind you. So that would so that would probably that would actually probably be worse for you guys because at minus 40 it gets weird. So yeah, minus 50, and then we had a snow day, and then I had a few snow days when I was a little tyke because. You know, when you have a snow day in Canada, it's getting serious.
For us, you always had, the bus always came no matter how deep the snow got. Like, there was only like one day, I think, where snow days, where we actually got a snow day.
Yeah, well, legally, the schools have to be open still with, like, at least janitorial staff on hand because, you know, if somehow the kid didn't get the memo that it was minus 50 outside, so you shouldn't be out, so you should not be outside at all, and got to school somehow without dying, then they can be let inside. So, you know, for literal safety's sake. I also remember one time, the snow was so bad, the snow plows could not get through to the roads. So the entire city literally had a snow day because there was too much snow. I think it took crews 3 or 4 days just to be able to get the snow plows on the roads because the snow was so bad. Whew, gotta love Canada, but we don't get those anymore because global warming.
Almost all of December was just a warm, sunny month this year.
Oh, that sucked.
I loved it. I loved it because I have Raynaud's disease, which means when it gets cold, I have constricted small arteries in my feet. So when my feet get cold, the blood rushes into my feet to warm them up. But then they get trapped inside my toes because the small arteries are constricted, so the blood doesn't let out as quickly. And so they just fill up like balloons with blood, and I have to like stab my toes with sewing needles to drain the blood out of them because the pressure can get really painful. So I'm glad it's not cold.
That's pretty valid. That's pretty valid. I believe you talked sorry, really tired, so my pronunciation probably fucked. Renault's disease.
What?
I think I fucked up the pronunciation, but in your case with Renault's disease, I can see why it's like thank God, but for me it's just like existential dread.
I'm going to be hopefully within either this year or maybe next year. I hope it's this year. I'll be moving in with my girlfriend, and she lives in New Jersey, so it's a lot warmer over there than it is in Western New York.
Well, that's fantastic. One less thing for...
Things shift really rapidly here in the... Like, if you're just, like, a state lower than the next person, you're just, like, a whole 10 degrees warmer than the other person.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Hey, man.
Hey, Maddie is here! We can now begin! Once the mic is turned on. Oh, he's...
Maddie?
Oh, he's super...
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. You were very quiet.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding, Fiddle. I'm here. I'm good.
That new mic, though, dude!
Oh, yeah.
All right. So today's topic, I believe, was suggested by Maddie. Is mechas, giant robots, the fodder of Saturday morning cartoons everywhere for like 30 years. It was fantastic. Now,
Giant robots.
Fighting robots.
yeah. See? This is what we remember. Which leads to the first question, and we're going to start with Fishbowl on this one. Your favorite mecha-based media. You're never going to believe what my answer is, not to sound clickbaity, so I'm going to let Fishbowl start.
Honestly, I'm probably going to have to say, like, Pacific Rim.
It's valid.
Yeah, it's, like, I don't watch a lot of, like, I don't watch a lot of anime. I do love giant robots, but I just don't watch, like, a lot of anime, so, like, I like a lot of other giant robot stuff, but, like, Pacific Rim, to me, it kind of, like, feels like, that kind of felt like it kind of distills, like, the essence of why people like giant robots down into, like, a single film, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be honest, like with a lot of things I like. Giant, like, giant robots punching monsters in the face is dumb as shit, but Pacific Rim knows that's dumb as shit. It doesn't care, like, it revels in that. It revels in that kind of thing. I remember in the fight between, the fight in, I think Yokio. Oh, and in that one shot where I think the last name was Gypsy Danger. Where they throw a punch and it goes into like a building and it stops right at the end of. Have you ever seen those like little sets where it's kind of like the balls swing in between each other?
The Newton's Cradle, yeah.
Yeah, the Newton's Cradle, and it like stops right as it does, like right where it could actually put that in motion, like it knows what it's doing. It's having fun with its like ridiculous premise, and honestly, like that's all I can ask for. It's like a very like fun movie.
Yeah. I mean that, and also Rocket Fist.
Yes, exactly. And also the samurai sword in the arm. Like, I always love when things have like swords coming out of their arms. Like, that's just automatic. That's like an automatic plus 2 points to the coolness scale.
It's like 90% of why I like Baraka. Anyway, so.
Yeah. Like Wolverine, you got Baraka, you got Optimus Prime, now you got Pacific Rim. It's great.
Plus, wasn't Pacific Rim made by Guillermo del Toro as well?
Yeah,
that is also an master.
That's got to be wild. Like Guillermo, when I think Guillermo del Toro, the last thing that I would have considered until Pacific Rim came out was, monsters fighting giant robots, and yet fucker managed to make it work. God bless that man.
Nah, after Hellboy is completely unbreakable.
Like, the man is a giant nerd, and like I love him for that.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. It's just like I was expecting like Hellboy, Pan's Labyrinth, that kind of thing. The more kind of subversive sort of thing.
It still has like Guillermo del Toro's personality in it,
Oh, totally. With how the monsters are made, that's all you need, really.
Yeah. Like it still has that like distinct personality. I think that. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Plus, Idris Elba is always a treat.
Hey, yeah, it's Idris Elba, people. The dude.
It's Idris fucking Elba, man.
I also love that he leads into the ridiculousness. I mean, he's playing Knuckles this year.
He's doing pretty well too.
Yeah, like Idris Elba is a dude that just does whatever the fuck he wants.
I also love that's a tangent, but I love when Idris Elba was advertising it. He says, "I'm not being sexy here," and then everyone was like just thirst trapping for him after he did the line.
No, I remember a bunch of memes when Idris Elba was like, "Hey, I did try to do my research to really get into the character of Knuckles," and everyone was like suggesting like Idris Elba losing his mind over like discovering the Ken Penders Knuckles comics.
Oh no!
Knuckles is Jesus.
Knuckles, Jesus, radiate the baby. I had to read about like what the fuck the Ken Penders comic were, and that was like a fine way to. That was an insane way to spend my morning.
But okay, my favorite mecha is G Gundam for very much the same reason you picked Pacific Rim. It's just dumb as shit, and I love that it's dumb.
Yeah.
G Gundam is because it's anime. I'm not going to assume everyone in the audience knows G Gundam, and it's a rather old anime now at this point. It is a fighting tournament where all of the pilots in the mechas are representatives of sci-fi future Earth. The protagonist is representing Japan. There's an America. There's a Mexico. There's Russia. All of them have their own representatives, and they all just punch each other in giant robots. We're not gonna have war anymore. We're just gonna have people punch each other with giant robots.
I love it. That's all you needed to say. It's like, war? That's bullshit. We're going to determine the political superiority of a nation in the world by having a giant robot fighting tournament.
Yeah,
honestly, that's probably a better way than how we do it.
Plus, it's way fucking cooler.
If you read G Gundam or watch it in anime, it's not really better. It's really not.
I can imagine things getting messy in a real fucking hurry. I'm just picturing like, this is a weird like thing, but like in Slag 3, there's a part of the game where you have to infiltrate like an aerial dogfight tournament. It's weird, but stick with me here. This is a game about a talking raccoon. And sabotage everywhere.
Like the big upper class political people, they don't live on Earth anymore. They live in like these space colony satellites all over the place, and they send their representatives to fight on Earth. So Earth itself becomes the battlefield, and they just like have the fights take place in big metropolitan urban settings, destroying buildings, killing people all over the place. No one on Earth wants the G Gundam fights to be happening, but they're happening regardless because no one gives a shit.
Boy,
sounds like rich people.
That just sounds like your allegory for war right there, and I both love and hate that.
Yes, but G Gundam is very
man. It's deep.
Yeah, it's Gundam. It's always going to be deep.
Deep like Adele.
But don't worry, it's not political. It's not political, guys. It's totally apolitical Japanese. I'm shit posting, but like
Look, the entire existence of this show could potentially go into a shit post, and I'd still be happy for it. So, let's move on to Matty.
All right. So it's my friggin' topic, and I misplaced my notes. So my favorite tech-based made is the tabletop RPG game launch stuff. It's set thousands of years into the future, and humanity has colonized and spread among the stars on various planets and moons, etc., etc. And war is fought, and I know there's something. I do like the stupid stuff like Pacific Rim, just fighting monsters, or Gundam, like it's Rock'em Sock'em robots, but there's people in them. I do like that stupid stuff, but it, I there's something, uh, especially if you like the wrong word. I wouldn't say profoundly, but there's something. It just gets me when there's like some kind of war, in the lore, in the flavor text, and it's like we progressed to this point, and we built these giant machines, specifically in World War. But yeah, I like this. I think mechs fit in best with this gritty, far future military like setting, and that's what I really love about Lancer. And also, a lot of these answers that I'm gonna give are based around the concept of like modular mech and like switching out components and stuff. And
like the Megazord.
Kind of, yeah. I don't know. I think the aesthetic of like engineering based and like mech kind of is just so damn cool to me.
I gotcha.
But I really like stuff.
And how do you spell that? How do you spell that again? Lancer?
Yeah, like a one.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, that's what I figured. I just hadn't heard it before, and it kind of sounds like you're far away. So.
Is that? Oh, whatever. So I don't know if you've read the comic Still 6 Billion Demons, but the artist for that worked on this as well, and it's very cool, and it's got a pretty like flooded and highly detailed art style to it.
It's very.
With all like pilot sketches, sketches, etc., etc. I think you got some good stuff. But that is probably my favorite mecha-based media. The second media. But I just love mechs in general.
It's hard not to love a giant robot. I mean, just look at the Iron Giant.
Yeah.
It's
We
hard.
got Iron Giant, we got Transformers, man. Everything has giant robots to love.
Somewhere in there. I mean, if Batman can have a fucking mech hiding in the Batcave somewhere, then... Anyways, that's not my favorite mecha-based media, because how often do you see Batman rocking the Justice Buster suit? But my favorite mecha-based media, I'm gonna see if anybody else gets a blast of nostalgia when I say this name. Who remembers Mech Quest?
Nope. No.
Who remembers the original Adventure Quest?
Nope.
No.
Think you're on your own here, buddy.
How about you, honey? Do you remember the original Adventure Quest?
No.
Wow, man, I really am a nerd. All right. Okay,
We're
so...
all nerds in our own right.
So, a little bit of context then. MechQuest is an old-school Flash-based game built by Artix Entertainment from back in 2006. And, 2006, back when Flash games were huge. And then there was also Adventure Quest, which had come out, I think, back in 2002. So long ago that you actually had to wait in a queue to play Adventure Quest some days. And the queues could be up to 4 hours long because this is back when internet servers were not quite what they are today. But
I am looking up Adventure Quest right now, and God, this looks like it was made in Flash.
it is made in Flash, that's why. Like, it was made in Flash and it has its own renditions. It now has its own launcher, which, if you're willing to give it a try, you could play those games for free. But MechQuest is a game in that sort of vein. You go out, you fight robots, you level up. It's an RPG. You buy new mechs, you buy new weapons. It's like the main crux of the story takes place in a university setting. It's like a combination of Hogwarts and robots, basically. They implemented lightsaber duels for your pilot mech too, so you can like get different kinds of lightsabers and shit like that. And because it's Artix Entertainment, there's all kinds of senses of humor. Like your haircut robot is called HAL 9000. The first shoulder-mounted rocket launchers that you get that are actually pretty good are called the N-00B missile launchers, the noob missile launchers. And my favorite mech, the one I ran around with for the longest time, was a T-Rex mech, which already is fucking cool. But this T-Rex mech has laser eyes, a lunging attack, a bite attack, and a laser tail. Laser tail. That's all you need to know. Plus, again, plus also shoulder-mounted sniper rifles and missile launchers and all that sort of stuff. Plus, the main bad guys you fight are called the Shadow Scythe, which is the most delightfully cute, edgy name ever. So, yeah, MechQuest. And the fun part about this, you can play this game right now. I swear this is not sponsored. If you go and find the Artix launcher online, it's ARTIX. You grab it, you download it, you play Adventure Quest Worlds or Adventure Quest Classic, MechQuest. I think Dragon Fable is still being worked on too, and that was the first one over 20 years ago. My God, I am old. But I already said my favorite mech not quite my favorite mech in fiction, but definitely my favorite mech in Adventure Quest, which leads us to the next question. This will be short and sweet. What's your favorite giant robot? Honey, start us off.
My favorite giant robot comes out of G Gundam. I'm going to get the image up for it for you to. But it's called the Rose Gundam.
Oh, image is a good idea. Also, I think I fixed my mic. Is that better? Or...
Oh, that's a million times better.
Yes. This is the Rose Gundam.
Okay.
It is fucking amazing. I love it so much. It is the representative of Neo France, if you didn't get it already. It has the laser sword and the little thing going over its arm over there. It has two twin rocket launchers that fire those floating rose drones that you see around it. And the drones fire lasers that can trap an opponent in a net of lasers where they can't move, leaving them perfect targets for you to stab them with the laser sword.
Oh, that's just cool.
Yeah, it is. I just love the ingenuity behind the idea. It's such a clever idea.
Absolutely. Got to get creative with your giant robots these days. Not that I'm complaining.
Also, it's led by just a super effeminate French ladies' man hero, noble knight protecting his queen character.
God bless the French. All right, Maddie.
My favorite robot is everyone's best pal. That is taking longer to upload than I thought it would, but it's BT7274 from Titanfall 2. He is my man. He is my son. I love him. He is my boy.
Oh yeah, he's the boy from the trailer! Because I haven't played Titanfall 2 yet.
BT has such a good arc in this game, and I really like BT because you can, like I said, a lot of my answers are going to be based around modular mechs and like choosing your own little setup, and obviously it's been gamified into different classes, but I love all his loadouts and how we can use all these different weapons. So you've got like the Ronin and Scorch and Ion and Legion and all the other ones, and he's It's my boy. How could you not love BT? It's my boy.
Oh yeah, I totally get that. I'm spelling this wrong so bad. Sorry, I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep here. So it's MFS. That's what it is. Okay. I know I said one of my favorite pieces of robot media was MechQuest, but that's mostly out of nostalgia. As I got a little older and I got out of that, I discovered the joys that is Toho's line of mechs, specifically for the Godzilla series.
Yeah, Mechagodzilla.
Oh yes, it is a Mechagodzilla, but I have a specific Mechagodzilla in mind. This is probably the best image I got, and it's a figurine, so you're gonna have to bear with me. This is the MFS, or Monster Fighting System Type 3 Kiryu, or just Kiryu for short. He is the Millennium Mechagodzilla, who first shows up in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla from that era, and then he shows up in Tokyo SOS. The gimmick for Kiryu, however, this is because it's a little bit strange, he's built around the skeleton of the original Godzilla that died in 1954, because his skeleton was lying at the bottom of the ocean in the Millennium series, and they basically just built a mech with the bones as scaffolding, which is super fucking cool. Like, and it even gets crazier. Like, the initially the chest-mounted weapon was like an absolute zero cannon powered by a giant diamond, or focused by a giant diamond that took up 40% of the monster's energy reserves, but could literally freeze something to absolute zero. So had to replace it with giant electric cannons like the ones that are mounted in its mouth, missiles, a drill arm, but it has a critical flaw, which led to one of the coolest sort of things out there. Whenever Godzilla would roar, which is a lot, Kiryu would like have its genetic memories of it being Godzilla reawaken because of the bones in its system, and it would just go apeshit berserk and smash up Japanese cities until it ran out of power. Absolutely, because it also uses organic computers based off of, I guess, part of Godzilla's brain tissue, I suppose, to help the Max pilot the thing. But, it snaps and turns into Godzilla whenever it hears another Godzilla roar, and then it takes another 3 hours to wait for the rampage to stop because Kiryu's battery drains. It's wild, it's ridiculous, and this is my favorite version of Mechagodzilla. Plus, his name is Kiryu, and I just started playing Yakuza 0, so the main protagonist. Thanks for the vote on that one, by the way, people. I appreciate that. So the fact that his name is Kiryu, which I believe in Japanese literally translates to mechanical dragon, that just sells it for me. Fishbowl, your favorite giant robot.
I mean, Maddie stole mine. Yes.
Sorry.
Fireball boy.
He's your bro. He's your buddy. He's your good time boy.
Like, every so often during levels, like, talk to him, you can, like, make small talk with him and shit.
Yeah.
Or more of a personality. As you go on, and you look out for
Like
each other.
his little thumbs up and how he, like, tries to figure it out. Oh, man.
Like, it's good shit, man. It's good shit. Also, just wrecking shop in BD1 is indescribably satisfying. Like, especially when you get the fucking Gatling gun in the final level, like...
I think you said BD1, which is the tiny little robot from Fallen Order, not BT-727.
BT's goddamn... I just love goddamn.
Yeah.
I love both of those robots.
I love all of those robots.
I'm talking about BT.
Oh, yeah.
It's like BD. They sound similar.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
But like, plus like just wrecking shop in
Yeah,
BT.
oh man.
is so good. Like all the weapons he has, like the fucking ninja sword, the
Oh
flamethrower,
my, yeah.
sniper rifle, the sniper. I suck at sniping. But that's sniper
Yeah,
rifle.
North Star, I don't think...
carrying that one.
Yeah, there are
Like,
weapons
it's safe
I definitely
during
didn't
that boss
use,
fight.
because they're not, like, my thing in FPS games, but I definitely put in my hours on all the loadouts, because they're all so fun to use. And I like the
And my favorite has to be the Gatling gun you get at the final
Yeah,
level.
Legion.
Oh, that thing was so good.
Yeah.
I just love Gatling.
Note
I'm
to
used-
self, play Titanfall 2 for the channel.
Yeah,
It's also just, like, one of the best games ever made.
it's also just
so-
like a good fucking game. Like I know
Yeah.
the multiplayer is basically
Yeah,
non-existent.
Yeah, the servers took a hit when, like, Apex got hacked, and then Titanfall 2 got hacked, and so the
And, like,
multiplayer is,
nobody
like,
doing anything
deceased
about it.
now.
I'm not.
Yeah,
But the
single player
campaign's still
campaign.
fucking good.
I was gonna say I wouldn't be playing it. I wouldn't be playing it on the channel for that.
Movement, the weapons, the level design, so good. Especially that one level where you have to travel between the past and the future.
Yes. Oh,
Like,
yeah. I think it's so funny that
like,
Titanfall 2 and Dishonored 2 came out the same year, and they both had a time travel level.
I still need to do Dishonored too. Like I finished the first one, like it's
It
very
was
good.
okay. It was basically just the
played-
first one again, but you play as a woman now. But Emily has, like, new powers, so it feels a little different. It's like you get good replay out of it.
I mean,
Anyway,
I
talk
like
about
the
Giant
first one
Robots.
a lot.
Yeah, the
Right.
first one banged.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you liked Dishonored 1, you'll probably like Dishonored 2. Moving on! Maddie made a very good point here. Mech styles you'd like to see more. Most mechs are built on a bipedal framework, so this question is not just what would you like to see animal-themed mechs, but which animals, mythological creatures, that sort of thing. Maddie, you can start this one off.
So this one came into my, I thought of this one because I recently, well, I drafted these questions while I was reading, but I recently finished, Sarah and J. Giles' Iron Widow, and it is a Pacific Rim style reimagining of China's first and only female empress. And they pilot these mechs with the two-pilot system from Pacific Rim, so, like, you've got the mind link and everything.
The Drift.
They're based around creatures from Chinese myth. So there's the Zetian, the protagonist. She pilots the vermilion bird, which is like a phoenix. Another one of the pilots in the story pilots the nine-tailed fox, which is like most prominently shown in Japanese media, but China also has their own version of it. There's a bunch of concept art on the website, and actually I'm gonna drop in the server once I find it. But it's very cool to see these kind of different designs, and I would like to... I know I did say not just would you like to see more animal themed, but I would like to see more animal themed mechs. I would. I think...
Don't just leave the animal-themed mechs for the Power Rangers, goddammit!
Yeah, I know everyone has their gripes with how Rhino from Spider-Man has become more like mechanized rather than just some dude in a Rhino suit.
Wait, people actually had issues with that?
I really do like Rhino's
I like
suit
it
as
too.
like a mech suit. Like it looks cool. It makes sense.
It's the amazing...
It looks cool, it makes, like,
It's the Amazing Spider-Man 2 concept of Rhino done right.
The OG Rhino with the like steroid power to getting the Hulk powers, and they could. It would have been kind of cool to do the Hulk powers, but they couldn't do the Hulk powers because it was the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, so...
Anyway, yeah, I was just gonna say, like, in Amazing Spider-Man 2, I really liked the Rhino mech, and I like how it ran on all fours. You know?
Yeah, that was sick. I wish
Oh,
there was,
yeah.
like, an actual fight scene with it, but it looks sick.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
no, it's sick.
Like I know
I would
people.
also like to see more bird mechs. So like Power Rangers 2017. You know, you had the Pink Ranger. I think it was Kimberly. I think her name was.
Yeah.
You know, that was based on a pterodactyl. So she had like a fighter jet neck, and obviously in Iron Widow you've got the Vermilion Bird, which is the Phoenix. I would like to see more fighter jet mechs. Those would be very cool.
Oh yeah.
Like,
You would like because one of the old school Toho mechs from the Heisei era was Mogira, but Mogira is a modular mech that you also like. Okay, we got all this cool shit too. The nine-tailed fox.
Yeah, so like with the in Iron Widow, the closer you get to your, I don't want to say co-pilot because there's like a whole plot that links into how women are just like used and discarded by male pilots for the purposes of piloting these mechs. But yeah, the minds of the two pilots are linked, and the closer that mind link gets, the more in sync they go through these different forms, and they become more person-like, and they get stronger. So they go from like animal to ascended form to heroic form.
Yeah.
Reminds me a little of Digimon, the fourth Digimon, the Spirit one, Digimon Frontier, where they had the Beast version Digimon and the Warrior Digimon, and you could switch back and forth between them.
Interesting. I dig that. But with Mogira, it has two key parts. I forget the name of the Land Cruiser, but the aerial version was Star Falcon, and that formed the top half of Mogira. So I think Maddie, you would really like Heisei era Mogira. Not Showa Mogira. Showa Mogira was basically a robot bug with a drill nose, but
I mean, that's cool too.
speaking of robot bugs, I absolutely 117.5% would love to see more insect-based mechs because there are so many bugs you could do the base forms on. Like, even just going for the easy one, Bombardier Beetle. The Bombardier Beetle literally fires caustic boiling chemicals out of its butt. That's a perfect mech weapon that you could like develop into like some kind of crazy flaming spray. Name it after Bo Raicho from Mortal Kombat. I don't fucking know. But the real good concept is let me double check just to see. I just have to double check that I have my name right for this. So I would love to see something based off of the diplopod group of arthropods, specifically the myriapods. That sounds like complete and utter nonsense, but I'm basically talking about centipedes and millipedes. Especially a millipede mech with different sections with different weapons. It could rear up and grab and smash with its legs and mandible bits if it's more centipede based as well. Plus segmented robots with little extra bits in each would be really cool. Plus you have the potential to make a truly gigantic mech. Like in Japanese folklore, you have something called the Omukade. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that wrong because I am not somebody fluent in the Japanese language. But that's how big it is. It is huge. Now imagine each of those segments being an individual battle station giant robot piece.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, no, I get what you mean now. And also, like, it reminds me that, like, Vitamechs are a very popular concept, because I said, bipedal frameworks, but, like, the octopedal framework is also very popular. You've got the oh god, what are they? The Tachikomas from Ghost in the Shell. Those are very cool. There's the big spider mech in Watch Dogs that is probably one of the best things I've ever experienced in a video game ever.
There's like a spider crab mech in Metal Gear Rising Vengeance, like the very first
Of course
phase of
there
the
is. I
final
would
boss.
expect nothing less.
Yeah,
of
and
the
you're like,
Kojima.
and you take one of its legs and flip it on its side. You, like,
Yeah,
fight
those are really.
forward.
Oh yeah.
That's fucking sick.
But also, I love the Ghost in the Shell little mecha things over there. They are really cool too.
Oh god, Metal Gear Excelsis.
Yeah.
Yes, that thing is so fucking awesome. The theme song during that fight.
What?
Yeah.
What is the?
Rules of nature.
Hey!
Collective consciousness.
Oh no, rules. Yeah, Rules of Nature was Jetstream Sam's music, right?
No, that's the only thing I know for real. Rules of Nature is the song that plays during the very first boss fight against.
Yeah,
the
they also
tutorial
played
boss
during
fight.
this fight. I think they played during this fight.
It might be Collective Consciousness.
Which fight?
This
No,
fight.
Collective
The giant
Consciousness
spider
played during
robot.
this fight. No,
No?
Collective Consciousness played during this fight.
Oh, okay.
Rules of Nature only played during the tutorial and one like mini boss that turned into a regular enemy the next level.
It sucks because it's like the most kick-ass song in the entire thing. Like it should just be his theme song for that whole game.
Yeah, but like all the other boss themes are kick-ass theme songs too.
I know that, but you know what motifs are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
just have it be a motif where just suddenly, like, whenever he's about to win the fight, it shifts from the boss music to Rules of Nature!
I liked it more with like how the lyrics of the boss theme like kicked in as soon as like the final phase of the fight began. Like the lyrics of Stains of Time kicking in as soon as Monsoon drops down and does that pose with his sigh, like, and it will come. That still gives me chills every playthrough.
Absolutely. Especially considering, it's Metal Gear Rising. It's Metal Gear Rising. Oh,
yeah, Metal Gear Rising is it is so good.
You're goddamn right.
For me, I'm definitely all for insects. I love insects. But my pick is actually going to be, I want more rollerblades on my mechs, like from Code Geass.
Rollerblades?
A lot of there is one little nitpick detail that all the science engineering bros always bring up when mecha animes are popular. They're always talking about how functionally they don't work and they're way too top heavy. But the Code Geass mechs are actually probably the most functional looking mechs because they're super light frame, and rather than just technically being bipedal, they have these extensive wheels on the back of their feet. Let me post a pic for you. That allow for stability and increased movement. So you're basically roller skate driving mechs that move it at super high speeds along the ground.
Wait, hold on a minute. These things basically get around by wearing giant metal Heelys.
Yes.
Yeah, basically.
These things are fucking awesome. I love them. They're lightweight and drive around super fast. They're the exact opposite of basically what most people think of a Gundam when they think of these big bulky monsters that punch really hard. These things just zip around super fast, blasting with guns. So they kind of function like power armor if a power armor was the size of a skyscraper.
Zipping around at the speed of sound.
Thinking of something like that, but I can't. I do remember a mechanical character. I don't remember if it was a mech or power armor or like a robot character, but I do remember some character that I'm thinking of had wheels for feet. And
I remember Sideswipe from one of the Transformers movies.
it might have been Sideswipe, because I was thinking of RC, but I was like, it's not RC. I'm definitely not thinking of RC.
RC had the one wheel of the Transformers.
Yeah, and I was thinking of someone who had two.
Yeah. Is it this guy?
No, it was like it wasn't tires. It was like a rotating circle with like a hollow center, like rings but for feet.
Oh, I think that sounds familiar too. That sounds very familiar, but I can't think of what it is.
Yeah, me too.
I'm drawing a blank. Sorry.
You know, you guys keep talking. I'm gonna keep looking, but I do remember something like this.
All right. Now, while that's going on, the next question is, we're making record time. Holy shit, that's good. Where is it? What mech already existing in fiction would you like to pilot? So, if you could have any of them goddamn giant robots in your garage, what would you be piloting? I don't know why I tried to do some sort of voice, but I did. I've already discussed the MechQuest giant robot T-Rex and Mechagodzilla, but if I had to pick a mech to actually pilot, oh boy. Shoot. No, he doesn't really count because would he count? No, you don't pilot Clank at any point.
No.
He pilots. He pilots.
It's like a separate entity.
Yeah. He pilots
like-
himself.
Are we talking about Clank from Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah. When he back when he had that giant Clank form in the earlier games. I'm just trying to think because like there was one giant robot that I really liked. I remember. I'm not sure how much I'm going to get flack for this, but full stop 100%, I would love to pilot one of these things.
Do those count as mechs? But also
that
base.
counts. Is that a mech or just a vehicle?
It's like, I mean, aren't mechs just vehicles though?
I would bet.
I guess. Okay, this is a really weird thing. It doesn't AT count as a mech?
I would argue it
Yes,
would.
But here's the thing.
I mean,
Like, the
that's
traditional
what I was
mechas
thinking.
you're thinking of do exist in Star Wars.
They do actually.
Oh?
They're just rare.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think they only
Wait,
showed
let
up
me
in
think
like
about
one comic one time.
yeah.
They do exist.
Okay,
I
I
know
remember when
it
you
stands
like
for all-terrain
I
armored
remember in the
transport.
first portion. Yeah, I remember in the first Force Unleashed game where one of the Jedi Tapakil created a giant mech to pilot out of scrap.
Yeah.
I had to fight him in that before fighting him for real.
Yeah,
I
Kazdan.
see just a Jedi sword fighting a mech.
Oh yeah, the
Kazdan
Kazdan Paradas fight is fucking ridiculous, but it's definitely really good. Also, I know it's a bit of a controversial pick to have like the AT-AT in here because it's like, excuse me, what? Because that's kind of that's honestly the reaction I was expecting, but it is worth noting that like some people who are watching those seasons might go, they're not big enough.
Oh no, they're big enough. I believe
Oh
in
yeah,
you.
the size is not an issue. It's like
No, it's probably
classified,
bigger than
isn't it?
most mechs.
Yeah, it's
Also,
I just wondered if is it I guess if we can count the Tachikomas as a mech, then I guess these things also count as a mech.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, I had no. Also, let me just say, I had no idea there was a larger version of the AT-AT the Empire used.
Oh yeah, the whole
this
AT
guy's so
line is
blown
just
my
like,
mind.
Oh yeah.
yeah, the whole thing.
The ATM-6 is a fucking gorilla. It's got knuckles it's walking on.
I knew they had the first order of the AT-AT thing that looked like a camel gorilla. I knew they had the Hoth AT-AT. I just did not know there was a difference between, I'm guessing, the Endor AT-AT? If that's where it's from? I don't know. And the fucking Hoth
Yeah, AT-AT stands for all-terrain armored transport.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so now I'm just looking at this thing.
yeah, and
I'm
as
just
I
looking
said
at this thing
before,
with the circular guns. You know what I'm saying? On
yeah,
the side
as
of it.
for
instead of,
mechs, as we're thinking of them, as we're talking about them, do exist in Star Wars. I'm sending a file now.
Yeah.
There we go.
The all-terrain armored cargo transport.
Hey man, there you go. Yeah, so like this, they do exist in Star Wars. It's just a matter of is an AT-AT.
And I would make the case for the fact that it is. I would make
You can count the giant spider from Revengeance and the Tamagotchis as mechs and the AT.
I mean, yeah, so like the AT-AT
Also-
has a cockpit and weapons, and it is a mobile, assault
Yeah.
vehicle. It can attack. So
And it
I
has
would say
limbs.
so technically.
And it has limbs. Even if it doesn't have hands, it has technically limbs. It has legs.
Yeah.
and that also fits into the whole. That also partially fits into the would you like to see animal themed mech things because the AT-AT was modeled off of a camel. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see that now. Holy shit. I didn't really know that.
Wait, you never noticed that?
No.
Look at it, bro.
I'm not really thinking of camels when I'm
Same.
watching Star Wars.
I mean, it makes sense, but I just didn't think
Yeah, I
of it.
get it now that I see it. Now that you point it out, it makes total sense.
and as a final little thing, the ATSTs get an honorable shout because they are my beloved giant killer robot chickens, and I love them so much.
Yeah, they are. I think they're very cute.
Very much. Although I would really like to. I haven't seen the ATRTs before, but that would be really cool to see. At least I don't think I've seen the ATRTs before. But yeah, so yeah, that's my pick.
There's the Clone Wars cartoon.
Okay, that would be why. Because I
And like the sequel movies or something.
no. The ATRT is in the Clone Wars cartoons apparently, which I have not seen.
No, there's stuff they said. Is the M6 from the sequel movies or something?
Let me double check.
Yeah, that's from The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, the aka the all-terrain Mega Caliber 6, also known as. Funny you mentioned it earlier, honey. It is also known as the Gorilla Walker.
yeah, it's walking on its knuckles.
This bad boy shows up in the Battle of Crate, which
Yeah, I remember now.
was so he's the big boy for that. But yeah, I'm definitely like Mechagodzilla has its own issues because I'm expected to fight giant radioactive lizards. MechQuest is a little bit too cartoony for my taste these days. Give me the goddamn AT-ATs. The OG, please. Fishbowl, you're up.
What mech would I like to pop? What? Actually, yeah, no, I'd probably pilot the. Going back to Titanfall 2, you know, the mech in the multiplayer mode that just has that Gatling gun.
Yeah.
I want to live out my fantasies as Team Fortress 2 Heavy, but a giant robot.
Minus the sandwich, but oil.
No, I will do my bad. I will do a bad Russian accent in that thing.
No, you can do the bad Russian accent. It's just that you can't do sandwich.
Sandwich.
So moist and delicious. Good times though, for sure. I would. By the way, I love that we had like a 10 minutes discussion over whether the AT-ATs were mechs. That's still one of my favorite things. Honey!
Do the FNAF animatronics count as mechs for the dead children inside them?
Oh. No, they're power armor.
I don't know about the animatronics, but there is now canonically a FNAF mech, and the Titanfall subreddit has had a whale of a time making edits.
Oh no.
What happened to the more I joke about FNAF as a franchise only going on to torture Matt Pat from Game Theory, but genuinely what the fuck happened while I was looking away?
I don't know. I've tried very hard to just keep it out of my head. I do not want to get dedicated headspace to FNAF.
Hold on a minute.
What the fuck? Take one look at the FNAF fan base and they're all thirsting over an animatronic wolf. What is happening?
Yeah, a glam rock too, of all fucking things.
What the fuck's a glam rock? What the...
Glam rock is like Kiss.
Yeah.
I remember. Glam-
Like I look up glam rock, and the very next thing that shows up is fucking FNAF. I hate it. Like here's some examples of artists that are considered glam rock: Alice Cooper, Roxy Music, David Bowie, and this is my new favorite band just because of the name, T-Rex. With the classic 1970.
Animatronics. When did FNAF get glam rock, and why is one of the first things that pop up when I Google glam rock is FNAF porn?
Because
Okay, let's keep it subject
quick.
Yeah, let's. I'm sorry. What the fuck?
Well, hey, as soon as you said FNAF of all things had a mech, I had to get curious. I'm sorry, but moving.
Oh yeah, probably the Gatling gun in Titan from Titanfall 2's multiplayer. Like I don't know, man. It looks fucking cool, man.
Yeah,
Plus,
Legion's kind of wrong.
What you?
I love Gatling guns so much. Like, so good.
Just so that we're clear, that's this boy, right?
Yeah.
Legion.
Just making sure I had it right. Okay, honey, quick, drag us out of this hole.
My neck is because I'm utterly terrified of like I can't even carry a gun. I can pilot a mech. I get scared just holding a gun. So for me, I'm gonna go with the Tachikoma because it's the only mech in our discussion that can be driven around in civilian situations with no property damage being dealt.
Minimal property damage. Yeah.
It does have to like anchor on 2 points and will destroy buildings.
Yeah, no, I'm just driving along the street or maybe up a wall or something. That's all. I'm not gonna go like I just want to drive it around or maybe talk with the cute thing, take it out for dinner maybe. But I don't want to go. I don't want to destroy stuff. I want to just drive it back.
Take it.
The only mech you can drive that will not destroy anything.
Take it out for dinner.
I'm a very fragile person. I don't want to hurt things.
I mean that's valid, but when you said I'm gonna drive it up a wall, all I can think of is the goddamn Spider-Mobile.
That is fair.
Oh dear Christ!
No.
I mean, I knew they wanted to get inside Freddy Fazbear, but I didn't know it was this way.
No.
Anyway, Maddie, what is yours?
Yeah. So back in my high school days, I played this free-to-play shooter called Hawken, and they shut down the PC servers, but it's still available on PS4, and I think Xbox One. I would like to pilot the Assault from Hawken. It's got 2 assault rifles on it, but like again, Hawken is a modular game, so you can like switch it out. I think the available ones are the very OP Hellfire rockets, which have like that as lock on. There's a submachine gun. It's just fucking cool, man.
That would be
I would also like to pilot one of the Mech Warrior Online mechs would be cool.
I could totally get behind that. Okay, just as a palate cleanser, and also because, you know, this is the way I am now. Barbara Gordon in a Green Lantern mech, you're welcome.
Oh, that's sick.
This is from Batgirl number 24 back in 2009 during the Blackest Night arc. I think what was happening here was that Stephanie Brown was locked in some sort of dream sequence where they had to fight off the Black Lanterns as Lanterns. So Damian got hooked up with a red ring, Babs got a green ring, and Stephanie got the blue ring. And it's...
Thing?
Say again?
This was a thing during Blackest Night?
I believe so, yes. Like I know this is real as far as I'm aware.
I believe you that it's real. I just didn't know that they had this happen in Blackest Night.
Hold on.
I believe you.
Let me double check just to be safe.
It's okay.
Sorry, I would hate to be wrong about this sort of thing, but yeah.
I mean, it says so right there in the URL. It's a Batgirl 2009 number 24. It was from a comic.
Well, sweet. All right then. I'm gonna roll with that then, unless it turns out this is fan art again. But I seriously doubt that it is. But whatever. Point is, give Oracle a fucking mech. God damn it.
Yeah, it's a good mech.
It is a good mech. And also not the weirdest thing that happened to Barbara Gordon in a power ring, but maybe we could talk about that another time. Now, oh boy, now we get to the fun stuff. This is, what would your own personal mech look like? The armaments, if any, what would be your role with that mech? Examples given are like search and rescue, search and destroy, demolitions, medical assistance, etc. And as per the usual Wraith cast topics, when things get, when we have our final what your own choices are sort of things, I'm going to put a 5-minute timer on. And Fishbowl, are you ready to start?
About as ready as I will be.
All right, that's good enough for me. All right, now 3, 2, 1, go!
So I don't know if you gleaned this, but I like mechs contrary to like my other opinions on character design. You know, being like sleeker the better. I like mechs kind of like bulky, kind of bulky.
Big
weighty.
boys.
You like 'em
Yeah,
chonky.
big boy.
You like 'em chonky.
It's late in that movement that I actually didn't. But I want mine to be like kind of like a lot bulkier, kind of like a lot of like armament, and some like the shoulders, maybe some rocket launchers, some miniguns, and like giant Gatling gun. Maybe and I can like pick up or put down or like put on my back, put on the next back with like big, I guess mid to close range. Like the arms can act as like sort of like shotguns. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. Like shotgun. My other favorite weapon in the video game. Shotguns and Gatling guns. Moving on, and then but if it gets too but if like something gets too close, like the hand, like something can like form over the hands. And like something can form over the hands like brass knuckle, and I could just punch the shit out of something. So like, I don't want mine kind of be like a walking, walking like bulky, invincible war machine of a tank of a mech.
If Rhodey designed his own mech.
You definitely need to watch Gundam. There is a Gundam that has brass knuckles on it.
That's so cool though. Like, that would be so dope. Mm-hmm. But that's like mostly my mech, like war machine, but a mech and with brass knuckles.
Wonderful stuff. Anything else you would like to add?
Probably it's a green paint job. It's my favorite color. Plus, it's my mech. I can paint it whatever I want.
You're goddamn right. You still got 3 minutes on the clock, by the way.
Honestly, I'm a simple man. I'm a simple man. That's all I had.
What would you spec it for? Would this be like, would they call you in
Combat.
if they needed combat?
Like
Alright,
something when a lot of things get destroyed or killed, they call in that mech. They call in that mech, and when we need Michael Bay levels of destruction.
Let's be clear. Michael Bay levels of destruction, not writing.
I believe those things are the same.
Oh, what? Yeah, I guess so. All right. If there's nothing else, then Honey, are you ready?
Yes, I am very ready.
All right.
I even have a name for my Gundam.
Oh, that's... And as we can tell, this is going to be a Gundam style mech. Sweet. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Its name is Deus Gardna. It's not a very bulky mech. rather lanky actually, with some rather long arms, and a narrow hexagon-shaped chest. But the thing is that, or sorry, a trapezoid-shaped chest. The arms and legs disassemble into a bunch of floating disc-like drones, and the head compacts into the torso, and the torso is carried around by a separate, different mech pilot, someone else, and they can use me as a shield because this mech cannot be controlling the body while it is controlling all the drones because I have like millions of them all over the place. And using the drones, I can create energy shields by like creating triangulation points between like, oh, I have three drones, each of them points to the other, and then they just create like an energy barrier between all of them. And they can block energy fires through that, or if they catch anything in between the barriers, it can like slice things clean off through that way. And it just appears to support War Mech Gundam, where like it's used in tandem as like a big, super durable shield that someone else can carry around to protect themselves with, while I'm inside the shield controlling a bunch of mini drones to also act as shields.
Okay, so multiple crazy shield shenanigans. Shield yourself and shield your buddy kind of thing.
Yeah, it is the ultimate defense-oriented mech.
Which is ironic.
It doesn't protect just myself, it protects everyone.
Which is ironic considering the size, considering that you described it as lanky. But hey, skinny.
Well, it's lanky because all of the arms and legs disassemble to become the drone pieces. Like the forearm would have like 4 interlocking drone pieces just to make one joint.
Okay, that's a pretty nifty idea. Discussing paint jobs because I now realize how important that is.
Would be black with a white trim and a gold star right on the chest and along the rims of each of the drones.
Okay, so black, white, and gold. That's a pretty sweet color combination, if I do say so myself. Is there anything else you would like to...
The name of the Gundam is Deus Gardna.
Gardna, as in guarding. I thought this was going to go into some sort of plant motif, honestly. But hey, that's cool as well. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
No, I think that covers everything. I think it's a really versatile thing because the shields can be used to like create platforms or to walk on because there's a bunch of the drones, so each of the drones can create one disc, and so you can kind of create constructs out of the energy thing. So like you need a multi-shaped, multi-dimensional shield to like cover an whole area like a sphere or something. You can create that out of the drones, or you could just create one giant sheet of energy if you want to just like slice everything in an area in half.
Now I'm just picturing this mech like creating those platforms you were talking about out of like the hard light shields, and then is it BT or BD for Titanfall 2? BT. And now I'm picturing a BT style mech running and then like jumping or step on one platform, step on another platform to get some air, and then just coming crashing down on somebody with a giant mech hammer.
Exactly, yeah.
The
entire purpose of this mech is just to be like the biggest support mech. Like I would be the sidekick to another person in like a Gundam anime where I'm like the right hand protector, where the other person's like pure offense, not pure defense.
Wonderful. Good stuff. All right. Matty, are you ready?
I am.
3, 2, 1. Let's go.
So, for like my armaments, Titanfall is probably the best like thing I've ever played. Lancer is more optimized for full-on gameplay because it's a tabletop game, so that's like the only thing you're going to be doing pretty much. So there's a lot more options. But in Titanfall 2, you basically have one primary weapon because each of the loadouts is like a different class in multiplayer, and it's got like a bunch of inbuilt stuff. So I would base around that, and also each of the classes are a different like size of mech, because in Titanfall 1 you had Atlas, which was the default standard mech. You had Ogre, which was like the big bulky dudes, and you had Strider, which was like the lighter Foxter dudes. And then they kind of they used that framework to build on the different classes. So like Scorch is an Ogre mech, and Expedition is an Atlas mech, and Ronin is a Strider mech. So they use that framework. I would have that same thing. I would probably build like the all-around default frame, which is like good at speed, good at defense, not really excelling in both. But my key parts would come in the weapon. So my one like in-hand weapon would be like some kind of LMG, like a M249 saw or something like that. Something with like big box magazine, a little bit slower rate of fire, but it can just put out rounds and I don't need to reload for a long time or anything like that. I would, and then for my inbuilt stuff, I wouldn't have light capability, but I do really like Optimus Prime's trailer jetpack, and I would use that as kind of like a boost dodge or like an afterburner or something like that, something that gives me like a little bit of extra speed for a short period of time. And I would also have, oh my god, do you guys ever see G.I. Joe, the first one? No, the live action with Channing. Okay, so they had the acceleration suits, right? And they had they basically had Gatling guns, but on the wrist. And I would totally have that. I'm looking for like, my favorite thing in first-person shooters is full auto weapons. I love fully automatic shit. And yeah, I would have those plus my, in-hand weapon, but the wrist gauntlets would be built into the mech. I wouldn't have a missile rack, because again, I'm trying to be good at like, I'm not trying to excel at any one thing, I just want to be good at a little bit of everything. So, but I would have like a shoulder missile, or maybe like I would have a sniper mounted on my shoulder for that like long range, high damage capability.
Like a plasma
Maybe
caster
like a mortar or
situation.
something. Yeah, something like that.
Because that's where that immediately went. And that's where that immediately went in my head when you said shoulder mounted gun. I'm like, I'm thinking plasma caster.
yeah, something like that. But I would also have a deployable shield, not like inbuilt, but something that's stored in the mech, and then I can eject it, and I can like target it. So if I need defense, I can just like drop the shield, and it will deploy like a hard light shield or something. But if someone else needs defense, I can eject it over there, and that would be like in the wrist or something, or in the palm. I would have. I think I would have a good amount of electronic warfare as well. Some like hacking capabilities or whatever.
Yes, good.
That's always gonna come in handy, especially when your opponents are other machines.
Oh, hang on a second. I almost forgot to ask everybody else. How big are your mechs?
Fishbowl?
I'd probably say around the size of like a transformer.
So about 30 feet high?
I'd say around maybe a little larger or wider, since I'm envisioning mine is more like a bulky tank.
Yeah, you're trying to like.
A lot of it is just like, so a lot of it is just like pure armor.
Well, so let's make it 40 feet then.
Yeah, 40 feet.
And what about yours? Honey?
The average Gundam is about 18 meters. I don't know what meters are. I'm just looking up a quick Google. So I'd say on the smaller side, 16 meters, whatever that means.
16 meters, because I work in meters because I'm Canadian. 18 meters is just shy of 60 feet. And
52 feet.
Would be...
16 is 52 feet.
Yep.
Okay, 52 feet tall would be my thing.
Tall and lanky. And what about yours, Maddie?
Comparatively, BT's not I'm picturing mine as like the same size as BT, and he's not all that big. Because Koopa, who is like it's never said like he doesn't give a. There's not a height given for him, but assuming he's like the average full-grown man at like 6 foot, yeah, he only comes up to BT's knee, and that's like
3 times as big as a normal as a person, which is like a
20
child
feet?
compared to most Gundams.
yeah.
So
So I'm picturing that height. BT, I think it was stated he's like 18 to 20 feet tall.
okay, so he's actually not that much taller than a T-Rex. Sweet. All right, well, time for mine, and I think you guys are going to kind of like this one, because Maddie kind of not stole, but we're on the same wavelength for an idea here. So I'm going to start my timer now.
Wait, for audiences who cannot judge mental distances, I just saw a really good size comparison. The length, the height of a Gundam is like comparable to the length of a fighter jet.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. If that helps. Right, and what color was your mech, Maddie?
Oh, I didn't say. Yeah, color. I would probably be primarily. I can never decide if I want primarily red with black accents or primarily black with red accents, because that's one of my favorite like color schemes.
Black
with yellow accents also fucks very hard.
You know what? Well, black and yellow. It'd be kind of cool. If we're living in it,
I would have it for like an assault capability and like a frontline, like infantry quote unquote role. It's a little bit bigger and tougher than normal infantry because it's a mech. But I would also have a little bit of demolition capability as like a secondary role.
Big bada boom. That leads me actually to, well, I had an idea for this, but I will mention it with my little guy. Starting the timer now, and he is actually little. I'm calling him the Tick.
Nice.
And
Nice.
and
Nice.
A, because I love the Tick, and B, because of the role that he plays. Now, the Tick is I'm picturing it as a one-man hexapodal with an orb body mech that at the biggest is like 10 feet high. And I'm even thinking closer to 8 feet high. He's small for a mech. But his role is to be stupid fast, stupid maneuverable, and be the saboteur of mechs. Climb onto a mech, hold on, and hack directly into the systems and take control of other mechs.
I like it.
So,
Really
the only armaments that this thing would have would be like the Arkham Knight's riot suppressive gear. I put it in quotes because they just wanted an excuse for you to be able to shoot people with a Batmobile, let's be honest. But, yeah, so it would be something like that, the kind of thing that could put a person down, but would do absolutely nothing to a mech even the size of Maddie's mech, much less a Gundam or a Mechagodzilla type or whatever. But the Tick's job would be to be super sneaky, and to do that, it would have a form of optical camouflage, whether that would be color adaptive paint or light bending technology. Basically, the idea is still the same. He be invisible. He skitters across the battlefield, finds another mech on the bad guy's side, climbs on, and then I basically jack into the other mech and take control of said mech systems in order to cause absolute chaos. Because, maybe it's like mech versus mech war, then all of a sudden one of the bad guy mechs suddenly turns and fires on the other bad guy mechs. Like, what is going on? And then you hear on the comms, "The Tick's here, motherfucker!" And just to add to the Tick moniker, as he is on the, or as she, I should say, is on the other mechs, the Tick drains their energy as well. So eventually, that Gundam is, or that mech or whatever, is going to run out of energy and just be a useless lump of scrap metal, and then the tick can move on.
I would just hack into the life support systems on the mech and jettison them into space. That would be a lot quicker than just draining the energy.
I mean, that's valid too, but but that's one of those things that you do on the fly, right? It's like, oh, I want to take this mech out. I want to have this mech out of commission immediately. Eject the pilots. Or, oh, I want to take control of this mech and cause some carnage before it goes down. You could do that too. That's the beauty of hacking into the mechs. You know what I mean? As for the quote-unquote default colors, I'm just gonna go with purple. Purple slaps in general.
You don't see many purple mechs.
Plus,
You really don't.
plus purple is one of my favorite colors, and then have some green accents on there too, because purple and green is a fantastic color combination, stolen by one of the worst characters in all of comics. But
Oh, Gias had purple.
Mysterio.
no,
The best character in all of comics, yeah.
no. Mysterio's fine. I'm talking about the clown.
I know what you're talking about, but like,
I know what
if
you're
you're gonna try
talking
and
about.
justify it, then why would you not say Mysterio?
Oh yes. If I'm to justify it, then yes, absolutely gonna rock Mysterio. Also,
Yeah, Gias had purple mechs.
I like that. Also, I forgot how well yellow actually works with purple if it's the right shade, because I usually hate the color yellow, but this actually works. I am impressed. If you can make yellow work for me, you got my seal of approval. And
It's in saturation. Everyone always does yellow with such a high saturation. It never works with anything.
no, and then you pick the weird shades, and it just comes out sickly, or like you just went to the bathroom. It's like, no thanks.
Or it looks like it's glaring, like there's a light glaring off of it.
Yeah, something like that. Anywho, that just about covers our episode on mechs, which is always a treat to do. Always a treat to do giant robots. Excuse me. Thanks everybody for coming on by for the first WraithCast of 2022.
It's been a whole year since we did these things.
Oh, brother. Actually, when was the first year anniversary of the WraithCast? That has me curious now. That has me curious. There it is. So the first episode of the WraithCast I ever did was with Mono and Maddie. Don't play. Oh, it started in February. It is almost the 1 year anniversary of the WraithCast. Well, shit. I guess we got to do an anniversary special next month then, huh? All right.
Smash Bros. It. Everyone's here.
Oh yeah. If I could get Judge and Mono in on this, hopefully maybe get Mars in, that would be absolutely fantastic. But that's one of those fingers crossed type affairs thingies. So, thanks everybody for tuning in for Giant Robots. We want to know your answers to those questions that we asked earlier. Whoops, that is not supposed to be there. It's just a scheduled document. It wasn't anything too crazy. Excuse me. Your favorite mecha-based media. Your favorite mech in fiction. The kinds of mechs you want to see more of. What mech would you pilot, and how would you design your own personal mech? Well, already existing mech for that fourth one. But that being said, I think that about covers it. And we are right on the button for time. So, don't forget to be awesome, my friends. We'll see you guys on the other side. And any parting words from the lovely folks in the recording booth?
Play Titanfall 2. Also play Titanfall 2. It's really good.
And honey,
Yes, sorry,
what are your final regards?
Oh, chicks dig giant robots. We dig giant robots. Yeah.
That works very well for me.